Geneva, Switzerland. Here, buried over 300 feet beneath the Earth, and covering a remarkable 17-mile expanse, is the largest and most complex machine ever created, the Large Hadron Collider, or LHC. Smashing tiny protons together at speeds of nearly 670 million miles per hour, the LHC creates such intense energy that some people are afraid it could actually create a black hole and swallow up the entire Earth.
The Large Hadron Collider is a real triumph of human civilization. It's easily the most complicated and powerful device that the human beings have ever built. You're actually firing two protons into each other and having them collide with an enormous release of energy, recreating conditions in a very small area similar to the Big Bang in its very earliest instant.
What up? What up? You were listening to the Randumb Review podcast. I am your host, Anomaly, and tonight we are discussing the mysteries of the universe. Do you believe other life exists? Do you believe in other dimensions? Do you think we have the capability to access these dimensions? Even better, do you think there's another version of yourself out there that's good or evil? But the biggest question tonight is, do you think we already have the knowledge and we're keeping it from the people? Like Area 51 is official, is the Illuminati real, and do they know about extraterrestrials? Is there another planet in the galaxy like ours? We will be asking all these questions and most likely having no answers tonight on the Randumb Review podcast. Now tonight it's just me and Danger Hostile.
Danger! That's right.
What up, Danger?
What's up? Feeling good.
Alright.
Ready to talk about aliens.
So where do we go with that that intro, man?
That was kind of cool. I saw Flash do that once on an episode.
Danger! Yo, so the funny thing about it is what I was watching about that video. Matter of fact, I want to pull it up. Where the fuck is my phone, man? I want to pull that video up, but it's like we have created an invention to where we can open up other dimensions. Like, you ever seen The Mist?
Yeah.
That's exactly what the fuck I'm thinking.
Or what about remember Event Horizon?
Ooh, Event Horizon.
They had the black hole portal thing in the center of the ship.
The ship went to hell.
Yeah, it was designed to help the ship like travel, like use wormholes or whatever, and then it ended up going to hell.
I gotta find this video for you, man. What the fuck? Yeah. I gotta find this video, man. Because when I saw this machine, it actually tripped me the fuck out. I was like, Jesus Christ. Okay, let me see. We'll go to the God particle. It's called the God particle. Look at this.
Geneva, Switzerland. Here, buried over 300 feet beneath the Earth, and covering a remarkable 17-mile expanse, is the largest and most complex machine ever created, the Large Hadron Collider, or LHC. Smashing tiny protons together at speeds of nearly 670 million miles per hour.
You believe that shit exists?
LHC creates such intense energy that some people are afraid it could actually create a black hole and swallow up the entire Earth.
The Large Hadron Collider is a real triumph of human civilization. It's easily the most complicated and powerful device that the human beings have ever built. You're actually firing two protons into each other and having them collide with an enormous release of energy, recreating conditions in a very small area similar to the Big Bang in its very earliest instant.
It is a bit like going back in time towards the Big Bang or the beginning of the universe, getting to points in the history of the universe where the energies were that high.
Yeah, okay, alright. Let me cut that off for a second. Tell me that's not insane. Did you see that fucking machine?
Yeah, that thing was crazy with all those tubes. That's why I'm wondering, like, what is that even for?
It's because we're too damn curious. I honestly believe we're too damn curious, man. I think that we're trying to fit. I mean, God, it's cool. To be honest with you, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, but like, I really don't feel like there's things that we should be fucking with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've had this discussion before. There's just certain things that you're not supposed to be fucking with, yo.
But at the same time, that's what humans are. We're just curious. We just gotta know. You just gotta check what's on the other side of the door real quick.
Okay. So, question 1. Do we all firmly believe that there is other life in the universe?
I 100% think there's other life. But I'm still skeptical on how intelligent it is.
Explain.
Like, because I mean, life is lots of things. It's germs, it's bacteria, it's animals. Like, there could be little tiny things on another planet that we have no way of seeing it yet.
Okay.
So with how big the universe is, I feel like there has to be something out there.
Okay, I feel like we brought this up last time on our conspiracy theories episode. Do you feel like there's humanoid planets?
That's a good question. I mean, I do think there has to be something like that out there, just because it's so big.
The galaxy is very big, and we never.
And there's new stuff that we're finding just in our solar system. Like, I'm like, don't we live here? How are we just finding stuff out about this shit?
Danger!
It's crazy.
Okay. Question 2. Do you think that extraterrestrials provide us with technology to improve our quality of life, like the Mayans, the Egyptians? Do you think that shit is real?
I don't know. That's the part that's hard for me. But I mean, there's some things that are just so unexplainable and so coincidental. It's weird.
Like the pyramids?
Yeah, like there's.
Yeah.
I was watching Joe Rogan. He was talking to somebody about there's like these big chambers above, like in the top of the pyramids that are insane, and they can't even imagine how they're built.
You know what? I would love to go to Egypt just to view that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that shit is very fucking crazy to me. The design of it is crazy to me. The architecture of a pyramid is crazy to me. I think it's some original shit that I don't know if we as humans were capable of just thinking of that shit on our own. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's tough because the things they did were crazy, and it was so long ago.
Okay. Question 3. Earth's time frame, and how long will our planet be able to last based on our natural resources? Because we're fucking up.
Yeah, definitely. 100% we're fucking up. The human race is fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
Too much trash. Too much waste.
I think that we burn out our oil, our gases, we're destroying the planet on a regular basis. You know what I mean?
The polar ice caps are melting.
The polar ice caps. Danger sounds like Al Gore right now.
DiCaprio, come on. At least give me DiCaprio.
Danger!
Not Al Gore. These ice caps are bad. I mean, they're good. I don't know. I'm not Al Gore.
I mean, what do you think, Danger? Like, really, for real? Like, do you think that our planet has enough time to sustain itself, or like, do you think that we are on limited time?
Honestly, I think we're on limited time.
Yeah.
To me, there's a lot of people. There's so many people, and it's not gonna stop. It's gonna keep growing.
We just keep overpopulating.
Yeah, and I love people, but goddamn,
there's too many of y'all niggas.
Yeah. I need some space.
All right.
It reminds me of remember Agent Smith when he calls humans a disease.
From the Matrix.
Yeah,
It's
and
true.
like the way we spread
We plague each other. Yeah.
each other, the world.
There's so much what's a good word? I think that if we had to say percentage wise, I would say 85% of us are very greedy.
Yeah,
Very greedy, and we just give a fuck about what we give a fuck about, and people just
fuck the world.
fuck the world. It's fucked up.
It is.
It is. Number 4 on my list: discovery of our own planet. And I mean like the ocean and the Earth's core, stuff like that. Like, we haven't discovered a lot of our own planet yet, you know what I mean?
It's harder to go to like the bottom of the ocean than it is space.
Yo, I'm scared of the ocean, man. I ain't gonna front, yo. For the listeners out there, man, I ain't fucking with the ocean, man.
So you wouldn't swim in the middle of the ocean?
No.
What if I paid you $10,000 to swim for 5 minutes in the middle of the ocean?
Well, all right. So, so if there's sharks down there, the $10,000 doesn't fucking matter.
Sharks don't usually attack people though.
They go see. They be like, yo, I got a taste for dark meat today.
Yo, what's this Lunchable doing in the
Yeah.
water? Sharks are scary.
Nah.
It's the feeling of not knowing what's underneath you. There's so much.
I feel like there's so much down there that we're just.
I need
so
the crocodile
oblivious.
hunter with me.
Yeah, it didn't work out for him either.
Rest in peace, Steve.
Rest in peace, Steve Irwin. We're sorry. We're not trying to be dicks. It happened.
It happened.
It happened.
That sucks.
How the fuck does the crocodile hunter?
At least let him go out. Like his name. Like
He should have got his head bit off by a crocodile.
If that happened, everyone would have been like, "Well, I understand why that happened."
Yeah, he put his head in the fucking crocodile's mouth and
Respect to him.
Jesus, we went left.
We started talking about sharks.
Yeah.
Is it Shark Week?
All right, so back to my question: discovery of our own planet. Okay. Let's just say we remove ourselves from the ocean area. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about underground?
Underground, even on land.
Do you believe that there's some type of subterranean living species underground?
Like humanoid?
Yeah.
Maybe like in New York, in their sewers or something.
Nah.
You talking about mole men?
Nah. Yo, that's funny, man. Cause we was just talking about that on the last episode. I think it was the bonus episode with me and Moon where we were talking about the mole people. I'm talking about like subterranean species.
I don't know. That would be weird. It's a lot more deadly down there, isn't it? There's like lava. It depends on how deep you go.
Okay.
Cause I mean, maybe not too deep. You never know. What if like a small group of like humans branched off like 10,000 years ago and they've been living underground for like 10,000 years? Have you seen the Descent?
Yes, I have seen that. Yeah.
I just described that movie. I wasn't even trying to.
Yo. That movie is. I believe that movie.
You think there's stuff like that?
I do. I think there's.
So would you go cave diving with me?
No. No.
What about for that $10,000?
No. For the 10,000? No. No.
I can't lie, I wouldn't do that either. I can't handle getting squeezed, like, start getting claustrophobic. Can't handle that.
Oh my god. I want to find more of these ancient alien fucking what do they got? Let me see. Let's see what this is.
Like jellyfish, they think they're
Oh,
aliens.
hold on.
Colorado Springs, July 1899, while testing a magnifying transmitter built to track storms. Nikola Tesla claims he received some sort of transmission from an unknown source.
One night he was tracking thunderstorms 600 miles away. But all of a sudden he heard these beeps, and it was 3 beats in sequence. And so it was mathematical, and it didn't make any sense to him. And the more he thought about it, he thought that they came from outer space, perhaps from the Martians.
Mars' orbit brings it close to the Earth periodically, about once every 1.8 years. And at one of those close encounters, he believed he was picking up signals from Mars.
Tesla reported this otherworldly communication and proclaimed his belief in extraterrestrials in February of 1901 in an article for Collier's Weekly titled Talking with the Planets.
Tesla became a...
All right.
Man, he thought that was aliens. That was my microwave. My food's done. Tesla, Nikola.
Yo. Okay. So,
That's pretty freaky though.
one thing that I firmly believe is that all of the Random Review crew believe that there is something else out there. We believe that there is other life existing on this fucking plane or terrain or what the fuck.
Yeah, this is just the one plane. We don't even know about the other ones.
Okay. So I don't know if my last question was, all right, life is, okay, all right. The human ability and technology to open doors to another dimension. Do you think we're capable of that?
That's a good question. I'm sure we wouldn't know if we were. They wouldn't want us to know.
Do you think that we already have the capability to do that? I think there's a lot of shit that they don't let us know.
I mean, it's hard. It could explain like the technology.
What do you mean?
The way our technology is just advanced, it's kind of crazy. The last like 100 years.
Okay, I can see that. One thing, let me see. Let's see. I got this question. Alright, I'm flipping pages here, y'all. The chaos between religion and proven science.
You know, that's why I like the Pope. The new Pope.
Wow.
Because he likes science. He's like, hey, we gotta save the Earth. He does some scientific-y things. That's a word. Just trademarked that.
Okay. Alright. I think the backup question to that was how does science break what's been taught religiously for centuries, and where does your thought process switch to after everything you've been taught to believe is wrong?
That's a good question.
I wrote this shit down. I was sitting here. I was like, what the fuck?
What's coming out of my hand?
Yeah, for real. Like, it was just spilling guts.
That's hard. Like with some religions, like they only think the Earth is like 10,000 years old, or whatever this is, whatever they want to say. But if you go with science, we're like what, like 6 billion?
This is true.
Me personally, I like science. I like facts. I like stuff I can see.
Do you? Yeah. Okay. See, and I agree with that, and I agree with Danger on that. Danger. One thing about me is that I feel like if it's something that feels like it's logical, if it makes sense, if I can see that actually happening in my head, yeah, I'm running with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we got so many of these videos. I can pull up a million of these fucking videos tonight. The Great Mayan Disappearance. Was it that the Croatoan? Jesus Christ. Fucking commercials, man. The Croatoan. That was the
I love that episode of Supernatural. Is that what they think happened to the Mayans, though?
Alright, now Pete.
National Park, Guatemala. Here, deep in the northern jungles of South America, lie the ruins of one of the largest cities of the classic Maya. Starting around 800 AD, their sacred sites were abandoned, one after the other. Palenque, Copan, Naranjo, and then finally, Tikal.
Tikal was perhaps the largest city of the entire classic Maya period. It really was the signature city of the Maya. It was also one of the last cities to be walked away from. So you get the impression that whatever happened that compelled people to walk away from the cities, Tikal was the last one to do it.
Scholars believe that at its height, the classic Maya population may have been as large as 20 million. But after the collapse, up to 95% of the Maya were unaccounted for.
We still do not know why they left their cities, because of a sudden they disappeared. And it was not a war, because you find not traces of a war, no traces of destruction.
Went to go pick
They
up some
left,
milk.
we don't know why and where they have gone.
Historians have noted that
just
the
told you.
disappearance of the classic Maya seems to correspond with the end of one of their calendar cycles.
But the priestly class seemed to have made a new calendar called the Long Count. We're still not really sure why they created this calendar, but I do note that its timing seems to time with major events. The Maya are leading their lives based on this Long Count calendar.
Okay. Danger, do you believe in the Mayan calendar?
Like, do I believe that it's like predictions or like...
The original calendar.
I mean, like that it exists?
Well, we know that it exists, but the Mayan calendar is supposed to be...
That's the one, didn't it? Is that the one that predicted we would end in 2012?
Yes.
But we're here.
But...
We out here, fam. 2020 coming up. But didn't they wasn't theirs like off a little? So it's supposed to be.
I think
like,
the time frame was off a little. Yeah.
So it's supposed to
I
be
mean,
coming.
there's some motherfucker every year that's predicting that the world is gonna end. You know, at the end of this year. You know.
I remember Y2K, man.
Oh my god.
Dude, I was like 7. I was scared for my life.
Danger!
I was like, the world's ending. Sky's falling. I was Chicken Little.
I remember. I don't remember how old I was at that time. I want to say I was like 18, 19. But I do remember the whole Y2K thing. And I remember people really panicking out there. Like they thought that the world was going to fucking end. You know what I'm saying? Like it was going to be over. Like all the clocks and the bank accounts and the numbers were going to be switched back to zero. And, you know, it was kind of funny that next day when everybody woke up and everybody was like, hey, we're cool.
You coming into work? Better get your ass to work. It's Y2K1.
Yeah, it's fucking Monday, motherfucker. It ain't Y2K no more. That day is over.
It is kind of scary, though. I mean, like we already talked about with like the degradation of the earth already. I mean, it's some of these signs, and then if you mix that with people predicting the doom, it's kind of scary combined.
Do you think it's gonna happen in your time?
Kind of. That's one of the reasons why I don't want kids.
That's understandable.
Cause I don't want somebody to suffer because of me.
I don't think it's gonna happen in my time. I think it's gonna happen in y'all time. Hopefully I'll be long gone.
I hope you're still kicking.
Oh, that's fucked up.
You can't tell me you don't want to be in an apocalypse with a shotgun.
I feel like I'm already in the apocalypse with a shotgun. I got guns that'll fuck you up.
But you don't got nothing to apocalypse in.
And ain't no zombies out yet. That's what I've been waiting for, zombies.
You think zombies are possible?
That's a good question. I think the CDC probably has things that can fuck you up, I guess. You know what I mean?
Like affect your mind?
Yeah. I mean, let's look at all the zombie movies that's came out. You got the one where it's 28 days later and it's like a rabies disease.
That's my favorite.
Then you got World War Z, which was
Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's on. That's all anyone needs to know.
What was the virus that they had in that one?
I don't remember.
I can't remember for shit.
Yeah, that movie wasn't that great, huh?
Well, the zombies were dope.
When they were climbing that wall.
They piled like ants. The motherfuckers crawled their way up to a fucking chopper. That's pretty sick.
The one that scared me the most though was the 28 days later.
Okay, so do I think that there's a virus out there that could reanimate the brain? Damn, I don't know.
The rabies one's the best, like the most likely. Because you're not actually dead, you're rabid.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man.
But how do, like, it's hard because they'd have to distinguish, like, what stops them from just killing each other? Why do they only go after living humans?
That's one thing that I've always asked about zombie movies is why do they ever stop? Like, okay, so if you're a zombie and you're going after the body or the brain or whatever, why do they always stop at a certain point and then move on?
I'm full.
You know what I mean? Like,
thanks for that one, Todd.
The only time that I've ever seen a zombie completely eat somebody is in The Walking Dead when they ate Carl's mom.
Oh, my favorite episode.
That motherfucker was sitting there full as fuck. He's bloated and shit.
You got a toothpick, Rick? Shit was good. You know what I'm talking about, Rick.
Yo, that's the only time I've ever seen a zombie flick where it was kind of like that.
That's a good question. Why don't they keep eating?
What should we move on to? I want to find more of these ancient alien videos.
Those are good.
Extraterrestrial geniuses.
Do you think there could be aliens? Like, you know how they think the lizard people are here?
The lizard people.
You think the lizard people could be aliens?
India.
Maybe.
In the first decade of the 20th century, Srinivasa Ramanujan, a young mathematician with no formal training, repeatedly stuns the academic world with innovative theorems. Even some of the world's leading mathematicians are confounded by his remarkable formulas.
I don't know shit about
But just as astounding as Ramanujan's work is the fact that these formulas came to him in dreams.
He claimed that a goddess, a Hindu goddess known as Namagiri, transmitted these theorems to him. These theorems came to be known as modular functions, and still to this day, they are the most advanced form of mathematics that is used by physicists dealing with relativity and quantum mechanics.
How could someone without any background in mathematics see such complicated theorems in dreams? Does Ramanujan's story reveal how humanity can access knowledge outside the brain? Could true genius be the product of a universal mind or collective unconsciousness? Ancient Hindus believed such a repository of knowledge actually exists. A universal force that includes every thought, action, emotion, or experience that any person ever had or ever will have. Westerners later named it the Akashic Record.
It is a Sanskrit word. It means sky. It's something that can be accessed through your mind, through your brain power, through your spiritual wavelength.
Could it be that the common talent...
Okay, all right. I'm gonna stop that right there. Hold on just a second.
That was dope.
That was fucking dope, right?
That was dope.
All right, so what I got from that is that
I could stream you in my head.
Subconsciously, there is a lot of levels that we can reach in our mind. Why is it that we can only access 10%? You think that's a God level thing? Like, do you think that's like...
Maybe it's for our own safety.
Yeah.
Like, you only use, like, what, like, a certain percent of your muscles also. Because if you use your muscles full strength, you would, like tear your ligaments and stuff, I think.
I don't think the mind works that way. I think the mind is capable of stronger things, and there has to be a reason why we're not able to access 100% of our brain.
Do you think anyone was able to? Einstein?
No, Einstein, maybe he might have got to like 20%, you know what I'm saying? But
you think we get powers when we get to 100?
I couldn't even imagine what we could do with 100% of our brain, yo.
What if you could control gravity?
You could be Superman.
You could fly.
You could fly. Heat vision. Freeze vision. We're trailing off.
Superman versus aliens.
Let's get back on that, man. I want to hear some more of that.
Yeah, that was crazy. A collective consciousness. That's crazy. I never heard of that.
Universal mind. And if so, have other modern geniuses acquired knowledge from an otherworldly realm? Einstein received the inspiration for his groundbreaking theory of relativity in a dream. Friedrich August Kekulé discovered the elusive shape of the benzene molecule during a daydream in which he saw a snake chasing it.
Did you hear that name? Friedrich August Kekulé? How the fuck do you spell that shit?
Tail. And the brilliant Russian chemist, Dmitry Mendeleev, literally dreamed up the periodic table of the elements.
He, in this dream, saw exactly where all of the elements lined up. The periodic table itself came in a dream, just fully formed. After coming out of the dream, he quickly...
Let's pause this weird shit for a second. We got Dust in the building. Dust, what's up? Cut your mic on. You got a mic tonight. We were waiting on you. And he brought a blunt.
Oh my god.
Oh my...
Speaking of aliens, the alien blunt.
Let's see how your mic. Cut your mic on. Let's turn you up.
Mic check.
Ooh.
There we go.
Ooh, there we go.
We got Danger Squared here.
All right, let's get back to this video.
They drew them all down, and it's still the same that we use today.
At the Mind Research Network at the University of New Mexico, neuropsychologist Rex Young uses a magnetoencephalography, or MEG machine, to measure the brainwave activity of a test subject. Dr. Young believes This test may show how creative inspiration strikes the brain.
Okay, Andre, you ready to begin? We have 3 tasks that we're going to run with Andre. First one is vocabulary, second one is paper folding, and the third one is inductive reasoning. Andre, I want you to clench your jaw now.
As the test subject performs these everyday tasks, the MEG machine measures normal brain activity.
Andre, now move your eyes back and forth.
That shit is crazy, yo.
But then, Young has the test subject clear his mind.
Andre, can you close your eyes and relax your brain for a moment, please?
I can't do that.
As the subject relaxes his mind, his brain activity decreases. But then suddenly, the MEG machine detects something new. Alpha waves. Scientists say these brain waves indicate the unconscious mind is working behind the scenes, outside our conscious thoughts.
The alpha wave have found to be associated with divergent thinking, the manifestation of creative cognition. And it's also associated with relaxing the brain. And this is something very important, I think, to the manifestation of genius.
All right, hold on. We're going to pause that for a second. Is that exactly what we were just talking about?
The collective consciousness?
Yes. Subconscious thinking.
I mean, I think we definitely do it. I wish we could have more like to be able to tap in, like to be able to watch someone's dream or something, to see what's going on in their mind.
Well, they do that, right? They have these systems now where they can sit there and they put these probes on your head, you know what I'm saying, and actually can tap into you. Like, you ever seen that movie The Cell?
Yeah.
They can do that on a certain level, you know what I'm saying, but visually I don't think that they've got there yet. You know what I mean?
That's kind of scary though. I wouldn't want people in my mind.
I wouldn't want people in my mind either, man. My
Do not
mind is
disturb.
scary, man. Yeah, for real. Like,
leave me in here alone, dog.
As soon as I think about that, I start thinking like the worst thoughts.
Yeah, for
and
real.
Like,
for real.
I should not be thinking this, but it makes me think this.
I don't normally think this, I swear. That's hilarious.
It's fucked up though, cause I mean, like, think about how your brain works
without you knowing.
Without you knowing, okay? So you have a dream, and in that dream, you're thinking something that you would never think in your life, like if you were awake. You know what I'm saying? Like your mind wouldn't go there. And your brain though, like when you're sleeping subconsciously, you're like,
wait a minute.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I've woke up with dreams sometimes and I sit there and I try to recap on it and I'm like, God damn.
I can't remember my dreams.
I lose mine after like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and normally I don't get to remember mine because I don't sleep a lot, but yeah.
I don't like hardly ever remember my dreams.
And they say another thing is like if you smoke weed, you're not supposed to really be able to dream even.
Damn, looks like I'm good with that. That's a fair trade.
That's fine. Yeah.
Keep your dreams.
Yeah.
Keep your dreams.
I just need some
conscious.
Sleep. That's how I feel. I just need some sleep.
Let me get some rest so I can smoke.
Yep.
We'll be good.
Let's find another one.
The collective consciousness.
Humanoids alive today. What the fuck is that?
If you could tap into the collective consciousness,
Jesus.
Then you get Professor X's powers.
Danger!
Remember Cerebro? That's what that is.
Ottawa, Ontario, 1982. At the National Museum of Canada, paleontologist and curator of vertebrate fossils, Dale Russell, publishes a thought experiment. Based on the trend toward larger brain sizes and the upright posture of dinosaurs. He proposes a theory about what one species of dinosaur would have evolved into if it had survived the mass extinction 65 million years ago.
What he did is take the dinosaur known as Troodon, and they noticed the morphological changes in the skeletal structure of the dinosaur, and based on over time where it was going, they extrapolated it out further. And strangely enough, or wonderfully enough, they actually came up with a model that resembled a humanoid reptilian being, which actually matched that of the reports that we were hearing now, as well as reports from ancient history. So for me, this was one of the most compelling pieces of information where science actually says it is possible.
The dinos hadn't died out. This would have become what he called the dinosauroid, an upright standing, semi-humanoid, semi-reptilian entity, what we might call a reptoid. He thought it might stand 4 to 5 feet high, weigh about 90 pounds, and have a fairly advanced brain.
That's messed up. You're a reptoid. This guy.
A reptoid. Hold up, I'll go back.
If they managed to survive the global extinction or presumed extinction 65 million years ago, and over time some of them developed through natural selection, and they grew smaller, they became more intelligent, they became more adept and adaptive, and took on a humanoid form. We necessarily shouldn't think that the reptilians are extraterrestrials. Perhaps in some strange way they're our forefathers, albeit from millions and millions of years in the past.
All right.
Fucking Slytherin.
Did you see Suicide Squad? The dude playing Killer Croc, that was just one of those guys.
Those look like the Sleestackers from Land of the Lost.
Do you really believe that shit?
No, that they exist?
That we were birthed out of reptilians?
I think they were more showing like what would have happened if the dinosaurs didn't die. Like what if that was here instead of us? But you know the problem with that is I don't know if dinosaurs are cold-blooded, but reptiles are cold-blooded. That's gotta be hard to soak up sun when you're big-ass human lizard.
You know what's crazy is that I mean, I don't know if y'all have been to the museum and seen what like the skeletal structure of like a brontosaurus looks like. Have y'all ever seen that shit? It's fucking crazy. That shit is like bigger than my house.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like you'll sit there and you're like, damn, I can't believe that there was an actual fucking living thing that was that big on the planet.
Imagine a whale.
Damn, yeah.
But they can't fuck with those.
Huh?
But they can't fuck with those.
Yeah, they can't jump
Better not
out
get in the water.
and fuck with us. Yeah, man.
Well, it'll be like, what's up? I'll drag you
Until
down.
the ocean levels rise, then we're screwed.
We were just talking about that earlier.
Human alien hybrids. Let's see what that's about.
I'd make a human alien hybrid.
Really? You nasty motherfucker.
What if it was like a cool alien?
No, fuck that.
2015, 5 p.m. Police are alerted that inside an abandoned SUV parked on a residential street is a dead body. The badly decomposed corpse is sent to the coroner's office so that identification of the victim can be made. Although foul play is not suspected, as police continue to investigate, the case takes a bizarre turn. The body is identified by his fiancée as 60-year-old Jeffrey Allen Lash. Los Angeles police find more than 1,200 guns and 7 tons of ammunition, along with numerous militarized vehicles and $230,000 in cash inside of his home. His fiancée reports that Lash had proclaimed to be an alien hybrid, secretly working for the government.
But it's the weirdest story I think I've ever heard. His girl...
It's the weirdest story I think I've ever heard.
Seems to be pretty normal and legit. Claims that he's an alien hybrid. That he was placed on this planet to do something specifically. Nothing adds up about his case. Nothing.
When examining the body, the coroner's office could not find any fingerprints, even though fingerprints are the last skin tissue to decompose.
Lash apparently had no fingerprints. His fiancée believed that he was an alien hybrid. And we have to wonder who this guy was. Was he really an alien hybrid, as he said? Why did he have all these weapons?
Within the UFO research community, there's been a great deal of controversy surrounding Lash's story because there's been a suggestion that his father, Jeffrey Lash, may have worked on the Roswell incident crash. That's to say, he was a scientist who may have been brought in to study the wreckage.
Okay.
So his daddy made it with a baby alien. I mean, made a baby with an alien.
That's just the genetics of a Florida man.
A number of people who have claimed that they've been abducted by extraterrestrials also claim that they've witnessed what they say are alien human hybrids. And this would indicate that the extraterrestrials have a program of manipulating people and their DNA to genetically alter us slightly. And perhaps this has been going on for thousands of years, and that even as we are today,
Danger, pause that.
we've been manipulated subtly by extraterrestrials.
Okay.
Can I get gills? You just handing out traits.
Danger!
I need some upgrades.
Do you feel like there are current aliens living among us? That's what you think.
It's really trippy to think about. It makes.
I'm skeptical. I'm a skeptic always.
I feel like there could be like another world far from here, and it's other people, and they're much smarter than us, and they've already closed in on us. And we're too.
They're like, look at all that water.
Kind of like ignorant to what's happening around us.
Yeah, they're like, look at these stupid motherfuckers down here doing what the fuck they doing.
But nobody ever thinks, what if we're the most advanced? What if we're the ones that are gonna go?
Damn, I wouldn't think that.
Exactly, nobody ever does. What if we're the most advanced? What if we invent the technology to travel light years?
Wait, so do you think that there's like cavemen in another world then?
There
And
could
they're like
there
evolving?
could be. I think that's a possibility. Like I said, I think other life exists 100%. The different like variations of life, it depends on what kind and where it's at. Do I think that there's like an Earth-like planet? I hope so. I mean, I think so somewhere. What's on there? It's weird. It's cool to think about though.
A more advanced planet.
But what if we're the advanced planet?
I don't think so. I think we're overpopulated.
Yeah, I agree. We talked about that.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
I just think we're just...
Give me some space.
Yeah.
Bumping my elbows.
We're cluttering up everything. Let's find another one.
We need another planet.
Alien messages in our DNA.
Would you live on the moon?
No. No.
That was too quick.
I'm not leaving my planet.
You think about the gravity. Your knees won't ever hurt.
It's too scary. What
How
if
do you know that?
Because you're on the moon. It's like
you don't know that.
like
Oh, you ain't never been on the moon.
It's like a fifth of gravity.
Nah,
You go like this everywhere.
Shocked quart wormholes in Mexico. Jesus Christ. Extra. Yo, okay, all right.
Do you think we walk on the moon regular or what? It's like here.
Huntsville, Alabama, NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center. Here, in March of 2011, astrobiologist Richard Hoover reports the extraordinary news that he found microfossil organisms, or ancient bacteria, inside rare meteorites that are more than 4 billion years old,
Kryptonite,
dating back to the birth of our solar system. Until recently, scientists did not believe life could survive the rigors of space travel. But Hoover's finding suggests that live bacteria made it to Earth and may have even taken root here.
Microorganisms trapped inside comets can survive the travel through interplanetary space and interstellar space. And the reason is that microorganisms are trapped in the rocky core. Around, you have a thick shield of icy material. And on top, you have a stratification of dust. Dust is highly effective in shielding the microorganism from ultraviolet light. So comets are...
Dust, you never told me how close you and ultraviolet light were. What the hell, dude? No, but I believe that.
Theory that Earth began alien organisms landing here from other parts of the universe is controversial. Called panspermia, one of the most vocal proponents of this theory was Sir Francis Crick, a British scientist who co-discovered DNA in 1953.
Francis Crick, Francis Crick, co-discoverer of the double helix in cell.
For the listeners out there, the dude that discovered panspermia looks like he discovered panspermia.
100%.
Is that the rotation of the DNA is in the same direction for all living things. Had DNA developed on Earth, it would probably have had a 50-50 distribution. And that's exactly what we don't have.
Today, scientists know that only about 5% of the DNA contained in our genes is used to reproduce human beings. The remainder is an undecipherable code, once referred to as junk DNA.
Just because we cannot...
Pause it for a second. That's pretty much them saying...
Oh, not
dude.
that guy.
Oh, my God.
Aliens. What a perfect podcast for this guy to be on.
Oh, my God. Junk DNA. I don't know if the listeners have ever seen Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Is that what Danny DeVito is?
He's the junk DNA. Press play, please.
That 95% is in fact useless. Nature is extremely efficient. DNA is the most powerful storage device in the universe. Not even with all the supercomputers combined in the world could we store as much information as we could store on DNA.
That's crazy.
So I'm suggesting that the ultimate proof of extraterrestrial life will not be found in a crashed spaceship or in a text, but it will be found within our own genes.
So, basically, our bodies are a computer. Supercomputer.
Yep. That's crazy.
That's fucking crazy, yo.
The human mind is like the brain. The storage the brain has.
I wonder why, and that's one thing that I'm curious about, is why we're only allowed to access so much amount, so much of a percentage of our brain. You know what I'm saying?
You think you could see different things like lights if you had higher?
Oh shit! There's more colors too. That'd be crazy.
That's it, Schmerple. You guys can't see that, but that's Schmerple.
Find one on there that you think that would be interesting, man. There's a whole bunch on there, dude. We got nothing playing in the background. Let me put some music on.
Sky God. That sounds cool.
Which one is that?
This one is the origin of the moon.
Skip through that ad.
Where's Moon-Ra at?
Many theories have been proposed. Scientists cannot say with absolute certainty how this celestial object came into being.
When I was a student, nobody really knew where the moon came from, and because it's so relatively big, this was a real problem. And I think that there is a tendency to think that moons get somehow captured by
Tatooine.
If you've got one body here and another body coming along, it can't just get trapped into orbit like that. The difficulty there is just basic physics. So this remained a puzzle until about 20 years ago, when another theory came along, and that is that the proto-Earth was very early on in the history of the solar system hit by a Mars-sized body. Hit obliquely, that this Mars-sized body ploughed into the center of the Earth and became the Earth's core, and a lot of the outer material got stripped off by this gargantuan collision and coalesced to form.
That sounds crazy as fuck. So what I'm hearing right now is that he thinks that the Earth was created by another planet crashing into another planet?
Yep. And then we got a moon out of it too. 2 for 1, baby.
How did the gravities end up being different then? Like, it's weird.
Because gravity's based on size. So the bigger you are, the more gravity you have. And that's what black holes are, super dense. That's exactly what a black hole sounds like.
Now I can't picture it sounding any other way.
You're done. That's the last sound you hear.
Alright, continue, man. Continue that video. There we go. Yeah, we get the fucking stupid shit. Yeah.
The moon.
Now, they had to come up with a very bizarre theory for how the moon came into being, because all the conventional theories don't make any sense. The best theory of the moon's formation is phantasmagorically catastrophic collision of two things, at just the right angle to form this belt of debris that then formed the moon. But the moon, its exact size is such that it gives us total eclipses. Its disk exactly covers the sun.
I swear to God,
that
he
is
made
weird.
up phantasmagorically.
Are so literally astronomically small. It's very disturbing.
Well, yeah, phantasmagorically is disturbing. What the fuck?
Times greater than the moon. And coincidentally, the sun also happens to be nearly precisely 400 times further away. This is the reason that the sun and the moon appear the same size in the Earth's sky, and why we on Earth can experience eclipses of the sun.
It's just perfectly in that orbit to eclipse our sun. The odds of the moon being in that orbit accidentally are a zillion to 1. So that right there is evidence that our moon is...
Fun fact, people think that werewolves come out when the eclipse happens.
...planet that's not accidental.
In order to have a solar eclipse, the moon has to be exactly the size that it is, which is 2,160 miles. Not 2,161, not 2,159, but 2,160 miles at its...
Not 59 minutes, not 61 minutes, 60 minutes, nigga.
Coincidence. The fact is that is by design.
Throughout our observable galaxy, this relationship and others have not been duplicated. Other moons are sizably smaller by comparison to their mother planet. Earth's satellite not only orbits closer than it should for its size, it is also the only moon in the solar system that has a near-perfect circular orbit. And no other lunar bodies are known to have such a stabilizing role as the moon has with the Earth.
Recent computer simulations have shown that without the moon's presence, the Earth's axis tilt would be completely different than it is today. We might not even have seasons as we know them presently.
Okay. Now that we've taken you through this science lesson, tell me that shit wasn't cool.
Yeah, it was.
That was kind of cool, right?
That was cool. That's crazy.
What else did they got on there?
On the videos?
Fucking ancient aliens. I want to say, yo, I wish the viewers right now could watch us watching this dude's hair.
That dude looks crazy.
That hair, though. What the fuck we got playing right now?
Wait, do you want to watch Nazis in the Arctic or no?
Ooh, Nazis in the Arctic? God, let's turn that one
4
up.
years into Adolf Hitler's reign as Führer, he is beginning to establish his total dictatorship by taking direct control of the German military.
That's ice.
Blinkt wie Windhunde, zäh wie Leder und hart wie Kruppstahl.
But on the brink of World War II, Hitler is also involved in much stranger endeavors that are hidden to the public. He is committing every remaining resource to searching for ancient relics that he believes could hold incredible powers. On December 17th, the German freighter MS Schwabenland sets out on one of these top-secret missions. Its 33-member team is rumored to include scientists.
MS Schwabenland.
Wasn't that the story to Hellboy? Weren't they looking for artifacts?
Oh, okay, so apparently it was a fact that Hitler tried to use black magic and all of that shit to actually conquer the rest of the world.
Wasn't it also a fact that he did meth? Wasn't that dude off the rocker? I'm sorry, Hitler. You ain't getting up.
Hey, you never say I'm sorry, Hitler. That sounds ridiculous. I'm sorry, Hitler.
Sorry, Stalin.
Fuck that.
Excuse me, Hitler.
Continue the video,
imagine
please,
there was a
sir.
guy that
Sorry,
said that.
Osama.
I'm sorry, Hitler.
I'm sorry, Osama. Excuse me, Hitler.
Excuse me. Excuse me, Hitler. I just
Military experts, construction crews, and key members of the Thule Society, an elite group associated with the Nazis that focused on mysticism and the occult. 32 days later, they arrive at their destination, Antarctica.
The Nazis themselves were fascinated by ancient civilizations and legends of vanished super races. They were searching for this lost Arctic home that they thought that the Aryans had come from. They were looking all over the world, and that included Antarctica. The Thule Society actually believed that there were mystics or channels who were able to communicate with these beings who claimed to be either extraterrestrial in origin or claimed to belong to this civilization that lived in Earth's interior.
Holy shit.
They gave a lot of information about the building of advanced aerospace vehicles, flying saucers, and I think this is where Hitler's Nazi party got a lot of its information about Antarctica.
Okay, wait a minute. The power that you have to be able to explore these areas and really...
Back then.
Jesus Christ. Well, okay, so this is 1934, 1935?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
No, am I off? Is it the 40s or the 30s?
It was like 30, I think it was like 35 to 42. Like it was like 7 years or so, I thought.
Yeah, it's 35 to 42.
I want to say World War II ended in 45.
Oh, did it? Yeah, maybe.
Damn.
I thought it was 43.
See, that's the myth. That's the myth. Nobody really knows.
When did Hitler die?
That's what they always say. They don't know if it was 43 or 45, or if he's actually really dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What if Hitler was alive? Son of a bitch.
Him and Ava Braun is living somewhere in Cleveland, chilling, getting some Starbucks.
You know what makes me laugh? Like he said that they were looking for a superior, like a banished, superior Aryan race. I imagine a whole bunch of Ned Flanders, like type fools. Diddly, hey there, hi there. Oh my god, how annoying would that society be? Fucking get me out of here.
Oh,
that shit's weird.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that's what they were looking for at first. I was like, oh, they're just looking for ancient stuff. Nope, had to be super white alien gods. That's what Hitler was looking for.
He was trying to build like super soldiers and all that shit, right? He was like experimenting on them, like they had to be blue-eyed, blonde-haired.
Even though he was neither.
You're right.
He's such
like
a
Hitler was Jewish, right?
Yeah. What the fuck's wrong with you, dude? Hitler
Yo,
fucking
that's
up.
like me acting like Uncle Ruckus.
Uncle
You know what I'm
Ruckus.
saying? I'm black
Yeah.
as a motherfucker, yo. And I'm sitting there talking to y'all niggas like, I hate niggas.
Uncle
First of
Ruckus.
all, don't nobody talk when I'm talking, so shut the fuck up. Fucking Uncle Ruckus, man. I wish I had that soundbite on here, yo.
Yeah,
we gonna have to get that shit on here, yo.
Uncle Ruckus for
Fucking
sure.
sound, fucking Uncle Ruckus is crazy.
Booty hunter. That's what that guy's dad was.
Oh my god.
Alien booty hunter.
I almost feel like we should look up one of those Chris Hansen fucking skits, nigga. Oh my god.
Catch a Predator ones?
Oh.
We're talking about aliens already. Might as well talk about predators. Catch an alien.
Yeah. Those are aliens. Fucking Chris Hansen. At least we call you Chris Hansen. For the listeners out there, we are hot as hell.
That's for sure.
What do we got?
More undercover stings.
Get on the ground now! Hand behind your back. Get down!
More than 80 suspected predators caught by our cameras and by police.
You know who I am. You're on the Dateline show.
They may know who we are, but
That creepy ass
they
bastard.
still come knocking.
Does your boss know that you are online chatting with people? I'm sure they don't.
Audience, I don't know how we transitioned, but we transitioned, so.
Deal with it.
Tonight, 3 military men are at the door.
What's really sad is this could cost you a military career. I know that's.
Beware our man behind that curtain.
Chris Hansen.
Why did Chris Hansen have to come out like that?
Yo,
he slid out that curtain.
Safely abused. No doubt in my mind.
A Dateline net crime.
Pause it for a second.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Stone Phillips.
Okay, so one thing about Chris Hansen, yo, is I don't know if y'all have watched enough of these videos, but he will convince you to sit the fuck down, even if you don't want to sit the fuck down. You'll just start backing the fuck up. They did that shit on South Park, yo, and they had it was like a Chris Hansen parody, and as soon as he came out, Cartman, he just started fucking backing the fuck up. He didn't know why he was backing the fuck up.
He can't help it. It's the papers. He always walks out with this little script. You're like, what the fuck's he looking at?
Yo, because you already know if this motherfucker's coming out, you're in trouble. It's like being sent to the principal's office, like, God damn, what I fucking do.
He goes, see him and he's so prepared.
Yeah,
to
hell
fucking
yeah.
straighten you out.
Yeah, he's there.
He goes, really?
Continue.
Because I got your text right here. Let me read that back to you. You said you wanted to skiddly bop bop. I'm sorry, I'm trying to turn this off.
Oh my god. Sorry about that, man. My phone is fucking stupid.
No,
And I'm Ann Curry. In community after community, vulnerable young teenagers are still at risk from grown men online. Now our hidden cameras are in Georgia.
And among the suspected predators caught on tape, 3 military men. 2 served in Iraq, but could they now be serving time?
This still ties into ancient aliens.
Our latest investigation, and again, we want to warn you that some of it is explicit.
We're aliens ourselves.
She did. I'm sorry, sir. I have interest in younger girls. That has just been a fantasy of mine.
A fantasy?
Yes, sir.
Do you know it violates Georgia law?
Yes, sir.
Come in.
So even when men know it's against the law,
Are you gonna arrest me or what?
Get on the ground! On the ground now!
no, there's a chance they'll be apprehended.
Am I being taped?
You are being taped.
Oh, crap.
And know all about Dateline's previous reports
that the
on
camera?
sex predators.
No, please, I need you.
Yeah, I know what this was. I just went to.
Yo, you know what? Put
They
that
still
on.
show
I
up
want
at
to
a
hear
house
that.
where they were told
I'm
that
gonna put that on for the listeners out there, man. We gotta hear that shit.
The R. Kelly?
I don't want to hear the R. Kelly one. I want to hear the Keenan one.
The Keenan?
Oh my god, that shit is hilarious, yo. And for the listeners out there, if you haven't seen the R. Kelly Gayle King interview, it's highly interesting. That's all I can say. These
With
brothers.
the savings rates offered at some banks, your money almost feels.
Very, very crazy.
We're not getting paid for that ad.
No, we're not getting paid for that. And they'll sue us if we try to put it on there.
Yo, is that a skip button?
Fuck you, dudes.
Robert, you've been combative, defensive, and completely unhinged. But somehow you expect us to believe you are completely innocent.
That would be ideal, yes. And now I humbly await your decision, Miss Jail King.
What? My name is Gail King with a G.
So you're not the Jail King? Then what I'm doing here?
Boy, you are not right.
So you think I made things worse?
Yes, you definitely made them worse.
Scale of 1 to 10, how much worse?
13.
So is that the highest? All right, fine. I guess there's only one thing left to say there, Jail King. Live from New York.
It's over, fool. Right here.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
Welcome to CBS This Morning. We're going to begin with your big explosive.
That was the real one.
The interview is over.
Oh.
You're watching a CBS News special. I am your host, Gail King. And this is part 3 of my interview with R&B star Robert Kelly, also known as R. Kelly, also known as individual who number ones.
Call me the victim.
Thank you for being here, Robert.
Well, thank you for having me, and please just call me victim.
I am not going to do that. I guess my first question for you, Robert, is why exactly are you doing this interview?
Because people think that I'm some kind of a monster. I'm here to remove all the doubt, okay? My lawyer was telling me no, but my ego was telling me yes.
Robert?
Please call me victim.
No.
For a second, I'm just going to let the listeners know this is why we call it the Random Review Podcast.
Exactly.
We jump the fuck off back to...
Yeah, that's
it. Right. And why do you think people are saying that about you?
Probably because it looks like I have a harem of young girls and I started a cult. Look, I made a lot of mistakes in my life. Maybe I can't read or write or math, but I'm still a person. I put on my pants.
Or math.
Just like everybody else.
What about the Lifetime docuseries that interviewed numerous women, family members, and your former tour manager? All saying the same things.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm talking to Oprah's friend. If I can just get through this, everybody's gonna love me again.
Robert, the docuseries.
All right. These people made a 6-part documentary about me. 6. That's almost 10. And look, and even if I was, you can't think of one nice thing to say about the devil? I can. Nice horns. Gives good advice.
So why do you think people are making...
Why do I feel like if we play this whole shit, we're going to get canceled, man?
You're right.
Oh, my God.
We got some good clips in, though.
Oh, that was good.
That was hilarious.
I wanted to hear him say, is this a camera?
Is this the camera? I don't know what part that is. He keeps going into his own songs. Everyone will love me again.
That trapped in the closet shit.
What am I doing?
We
here?
all know this dude is guilty, man. Come on, man.
Oh, there's a...
You don't get accused
that much and not be guilty.
R. Kelly is an ancient alien.
You know what I was talking about conspiracy theories again? About Epstein? I was reading about
I heard about him today. There was some more shit that they was talking about today where he was They were trying to say it was a homicide.
Yeah, it was like the strangle. I even heard stuff about it being a different looking person though, like the body. Like imagine if he wasn't
They
there.
Saddam Husseined him.
So is it a homicide by inmate or like someone like
Definitely not an inmate.
Paid to have him killed?
He didn't have anybody in his cell with him.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
This motherfucker knew too much about too many people.
He was about to give them all up.
Yeah.
And the cameras didn't work, but I was also reading something about like security cameras like that. They have like this less than like a 1%. It's like less than 0.5% failure rate. And those cameras on that guy right before his trial just so happened to have, it's like no way.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's one thing that I did hear about, because when I heard about all the information that he knew about all these people, I'm not going to speak on these people because I'm trying to stay alive myself.
I ain't trying to get Epstein.
You know what I'm saying?
Or Epstein's body double, whatever.
I ain't trying to get Epsteined. But yeah, he knew a lot about a lot of people, man. So yeah, it's typical. It happens.
Can you imagine? It's crazy the kind of lives some people live compared to like ours. And I don't mean in a good way.
It makes you wonder, like, who, like, famous people or, successful people, like, which of them are, like, complete psychopaths and scumbags.
Terrible.
I'd say more than 50%.
Christian Bale.
Low key.
Get off the fucking set.
I would say more than 50%. Because, I mean, honestly, how many people do you interact with on a regular basis that are just kind of fucked up?
Yeah, I feel like everybody kind of is.
Honestly does. What do you think?
We all need to tap into the consciousness.
I agree. Oh my goodness.
The shared one.
What else do we got? Let's pull up another video, man. And for the listeners out there, we are going to get video soon. We are going to get a live feed soon, so you guys can actually watch us watch the bullshit. You know what I mean? We're working on it. The Random Review Podcast is trying to build up its production, so give us some time.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. What you got?
Am I looking at Keenan or am I looking at Ancient Aliens?
Action 9, News at 5. NorCal's #1 choice for news.
Good afternoon. Our top story, a 4.3 magnitude earthquake rattled downtown Sacramento this morning, causing some structural damage. Our own Randall Fields is in Capitol Plaza. Randall, besides the ground, what's shaking over there?
Well, lots, Carol, and given the severity of the situation...
Wait. I went back to Ancient Aliens. Back to the subject.
Back to yeah.
Throughout the world, there are ancient traditions that identify the center of the head as being synonymous with the center of the earth, the center of the universe, and the very center of creation itself. This center is often depicted as egg-shaped and is identified in some cultures as the third eye.
The mind's eye?
There are multiple cultures that point us in the same direction. The Hindus have it as the third eye, or the bindi. The Buddhists have the third eye on Buddha's forehead. We see symbology in Mesoamerica, which seems to symbolize the ability to contact and communicate with the higher spiritual realms using this secret symbol that is consistent throughout all the major world religions.
When you talk about the third eye, it's about
this dude's hair.
It's about this connection to the great unknown or the force of the universe. We think that we are separated from the world.
For the audience out there, if you have never saw or seen or listened to Ancient Aliens, please check this dude's hair out.
Every extraterrestrial being throughout the entire universe.
That's ancient.
Is it possible that the cosmic egg isn't only a symbol for the universe or how the universe was formed, but represents a connection that exists within each and every human to the cosmos.
It looks like that scene
and
from The
possibly
Matrix.
to extraterrestrial beings that came to Earth in the distant past. Ancient astronaut theorists point out that while the third eye has historically been considered a metaphor, there is an egg-shaped structure within the brain that is critical in defining what it means to be human. The thalamus.
Pause it. The thalamus. Is that what I just heard?
Yep.
Have you ever heard that before?
I
thought the medulla oblongata was the access point. Oh, okay. Continue, please.
Two identical eggs. The thalamus lies at the center of the brain and is the hub responsible for relaying information from most of the sensory receptors. Scientists studying the effects of thalamic stimulation on comatose patients have recently suggested the thalamus might be the most important factor in human consciousness.
The thalamus is like a relay station in the brain. So you have all the primary sensory information coming in, like information coming in your eyes, through your retina, and through your ears, and all these sensations. The first place they go after the primary sense organs is they get funneled to the thalamus. And then the thalamus sorts out this information and relays it to the various parts in the cortex that process that primary sensory information.
Holy shit. I've never heard that in my life.
That's crazy.
Have you ever heard that fucking part of your brain?
The command center? Command center breaker?
That's like the Death Star. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, play. Yeah, please.
If the thalamus is damaged, usually it will knock out consciousness. It's a very critical point where all the information comes to, and then it's distributed in the cortex.
That guy got hit in his thalamus.
Danger! The thalamus is called the lamp, the open eye, even the third eye. And when you look at this, you wonder, was it in fact a gift from extraterrestrial beings that awakened us, that enabled us to become connected to the divine or extraterrestrial realm? Perhaps the extraterrestrials that had a hand in fashioning the human body and tweaking the human brain placed the thalamus there in its egg shape as a connecting link to the greater civilization out of which we originally emerged.
Could the thalamus be the physical representation of what ancient cultures referred to as the third eye? And if so, might this brain structure act as a connection to greater forces in the universe? As incredible as this notion may be,
The 100% that we were talking about.
that the thalamus can also be found represented in one of the most prominent symbols of ancient Egypt, the Eye of Horus.
The Eye of Horus, also known as the Eye of Ra, was a symbol of protection.
Okay, so I'm going to get back to what we were talking about earlier. Do you think that at some point earlier in time that extraterrestrials came down here and gave us technology and ability to move forward and advance?
I could see that. Absolutely.
Dust is on that. What you think?
It's hard for me. But I can see both sides. That's the problem. I can see why it could have happened.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But it's like, it always seems like it's more likely that it's like the worst outcome.
The craziest thing to me is just some of the things that they've done in the past, like in terms of the size. Like the pyramids are huge. Like how did they make Stonehenge?
Yeah, like how did they even get the courage to think or try that?
Yeah.
Stonehenge.
And then there's a lot of like landmarks that like point to like true north or something all the time. Something I can't remember what it is, but like there's like one in Ohio. It's like some snake thing, snakehead something I think.
Okay.
It's weird.
Continue that video, please.
Protection, royal power, and good health. But it was also known as the Eye of Providence, the all-seeing eye of God. Now, what is incredible is if you look at the thalamus and all of the structures surrounding that, it looks like the Eye of Horus. The similarity is really pretty astonishing.
It just jumped. Fucking YouTube.
Next episode.
Next episode. I don't know. I think we have a whole bunch of mysteries of our universe out there. I think there's a whole bunch of shit to explore that we haven't even got to cover yet, and you know.
Even on Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're still finding new.
For over 4 generations.
They're still finding new animals.
Yeah.
We haven't discovered the whole fucking depths of the ocean yet.
Yeah.
That's
what I
what's
was
scary
thinking.
to me. You know
The
what I'm
pressure.
saying? Not so much the pressure, but
You wouldn't be scared of being in a submarine?
it's not the pressure. It's what's down there that I worry about.
Like, what if the Megalodon is still alive and it's just like in deep dark water? It's fucked up.
The Loch Ness monster.
I would kill a megalodon easily.
You just hammer punch it.
Handedly. No, you just gotta.
That's what they say you're supposed to do. Is
Trojan horse. A megalodon, he's huge. He'll swallow me whole. I'll rip him from the inside out. Checkmate.
Do we got one more video, or should we just cut it out?
Let's see. Let's check out these videos.
Let's check out. I know there's more.
There's more about those dinosaur humanoids.
Yeah, I don't want to say. That's weird to me.
Those reptoids?
Yeah. They said reptoids earlier. I was like, what the fuck is a reptoid, yo?
A reptoidian.
From Reptoid.
Imagine you have a reptoid as your neighbor.
Man.
Can you not lay your eggs on my yard?
Like Stanley from Friday and shit. What else we got, man?
Trying to find them. Mystic obelisks in Egypt.
Pull that one up.
It's in Egypt too. Even better.
Memphis, Egypt. In 1898, an excavation team with the Berlin Museum discovered the base of a massive obelisk, estimated to have once stood at over 160 feet tall.
According to the ancient Egyptian building texts from Edfu, Abu Ghurab was known as the place of the gods. Egyptologists know it as a place where the ancients connected with divine energies. It is said that this is the very place where pharaohs and priests experienced heightened awareness through the use of vibrations transmitted through the obelisk.
While scholars believe Abu Ghurab was home to one of the largest obelisks ever constructed.
Wasn't he in the Mummy?
Similar shaped monoliths have been found in hundreds of variations all over the world. Unsuitable for shelter, storage, or a higher vantage point, could obelisks have served another, more powerful purpose? A vast number of obelisks are constructed from granite, a stone containing high concentrations of energy-responsive quartz crystal. Because of its crystalline structure, quartz has the ability to convert the Earth's natural electrical vibrations into usable energy by a property known as piezoelectricity.
Nobody understands.
Vibrating or oscillating, and the electric is for electric. What this means is that you can use electricity to make them vibrate mechanically, and when they vibrate mechanically, they can generate electricity.
Is it possible the ancient cultures that erected obelisks had some understanding
if you didn't know
tech properties of quartz? And if so, could they have used obelisks to transmit energy over vast distances? Ancient
like a
astronaut
telephone.
theorists believe the answer is yes, and that evidence can be found.
He said, yeah, yo, hit me up on my obelisk later.
You get that new obelisk?
I got that new eye obelisk.
Oh my god.
I got eye obelisk X.
I feel like these guys love to say obelisk though, because I kind of do too. Obelisk.
By studying the work of Nikola Tesla. In July 1899, the famed scientist claimed to have invented a way to transmit electricity through the air, wirelessly, all over the world, by harnessing the Earth's natural conductivity, or what Tesla called standing waves.
What?
Giant transmitters could send and receive limitless amounts of electricity flowing.
What does that look like to you?
And one of the key components in his system was quartz crystal.
Typically, when we deal with the energy of electromagnetic waves, it's in what we call a propagating form. It's like the flashlight, you turn it on, and it moves. It propagates through space and goes from one place to another. A standing wave is kind of a different phenomena because the wave just oscillates in one place up and down, and the energy goes in between two different regions back and forth.
Tesla was proposing and tried to build this system of wireless power. He built the...
Okay, pause it for a second. All right, this gets me back to where we started. Do you think that there's something that we could create that could open up another dimension that brings shit that we're not supposed to have here?
Wait, say again.
Do you think we could create a portal to another dimension?
No, I feel like that's way too complex to ever like.
It needs a lot of energy.
Okay, so he didn't get to see the video that we started off at the beginning. You know what I mean? I can go back to that shit if y'all want to hear it again.
Oh yeah, play it for
Yeah. Let me...
Rewind. Random rewind.
Geneva, Switzerland. Here, buried over 300 feet beneath the earth, and covering a remarkable 17-mile expanse, is the largest and most complex machine ever created, the Large Hadron Collider, or LHC, smashing tiny protons together at speeds of nearly 670 million miles per hour. The LHC creates such intense energy that some people are afraid it could actually create a black hole and swallow up the entire Earth.
The Large Hadron Collider is a real triumph of human civilization. It's easily the most complicated and powerful device that the human beings have ever built. You're actually firing two protons into each other and having them collide with an enormous release of energy, recreating conditions in a very small area similar to the Big Bang in its very earliest instant.
Okay. Thus, before we go on, because I can continue, is pretty much what they're saying is that they've created a machine that can recreate the Big Bang Theory.
That just fucked me up. That's mind blowing. I'm not even kidding. Fuck. Literally, like.
It is a bit like going back in time towards the Big Bang or the beginning of the universe, getting to points in the history of the universe where the energies were that high.
On July 4th, 2012, thousands crowded outside an auditorium at the European Organization for Nuclear Research, or CERN, to hear the announcement of the LHC's first major finding. Streaming the event live across the world, scientists prepared to reveal a discovery that could solve a decades-old mystery about the nature of our universe.
The atmosphere in the room was incredible. It was not like a normal physics symposium or seminar. It was truly something of completely different magnitude was going to be announced.
Okay. Now, how do you feel about the fact that we could open up a fucking portal? Because that's what that shit says.
It could be cool. It could be good and bad.
No, I don't think it'd be good at all.
What if the portal just lets you reach into your fridge from right here? Tell me you don't want that?
Me personally, I feel like
okay, that was one question that I had earlier. Do you feel like there's another dimension out there where there's an evil version of yourself
Yeah.
Or a different version of
What
yourself.
if I'm the evil version? I want to meet that nice
Then how
bastard.
good is the other
I want to
version?
meet that dude.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Rogers.
Another Ned Flanders bastard.
Hey there, neighbor.
What the fuck? Hey there, neighbor. What the fuck? It was perfect.
Lovely autumn, huh?
I honestly think that I'm the better version of myself because I hope that there's not an evil version of me somewhere wandering out there in the fucking universe. I'd be terrified of that motherfucker. Jesus.
So when we talk about other dimensions, like we're always worried about what comes from them, right? But what about, again, what if we're the scary thing? What if we go over and we're fucking things up in their place?
Doubt it.
That's true. That's true.
We could be the destroyers ourselves.
I think we are.
That's why we should stop
We're
messing.
evil. We're greedy.
Let's leave those
we
nice people alone.
overpopulate. Yeah.
They have a nice society.
Yeah.
Everyone recycles. They bike to work.
Danger!
Like they're like our world, but they did everything right.
Yeah.
And the world's gonna prolong and be around forever.
There's like a Starbucks on every corner.
With organic coffee beans only.
Fat-free, reduced sugar creamers.
Pumpkin spice organic latte.
Oh my god.
I don't even know if that's a word or a drink.
Let me see if I have one more question on here. Okay. I think we talked about this before. Do y'all believe that Area 51 is official?
You know what makes me think it might not be is did you see Edward Snowden was on Joe Rogan recently?
Really? No, I didn't see that shit.
And he was talking about, and you know Edward Snowden looked at all that shit.
Yeah, he shouldn't. Yeah.
And
I feel like just us talking about that motherfucker to get us executed right now.
I mean Deadward Snowden, who's in Prussia, but he said that he never saw anything about any kind of alien anything
in Area 51
at all. He said he never saw anything like that.
Okay.
So he kind of discredited it, but he still said it could be so top secret that he couldn't even get access. But he said he had access to all kinds of stuff. It's like scary.
Okay. Danger, I don't know if we talked about this before. Do you believe the Illuminati is real?
Like a secret society?
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Epstein was in there.
Yeah. It's like an elite type. Don't you dare hey there neighbor me. No, but yeah.
Epstein, yeah, he's a different kind of type.
If I ever walked into the woods though and I saw a bunch of rich fuckers like in robes and shit, I'd be so freaked out.
It's like the Stonecutters Club from The Simpsons.
I'd feel like I'd have to try and kill them. I'd be like, I have to stop this right now.
Well, if I see a bunch of motherfuckers in robes in the woods, I'm definitely killing somebody. Y'all niggas know. I'm like, yo, I don't give a fuck what kind of color robe you got on. Don't let me see some white robes up in that motherfucker. Oh my god, I gotta shoot my way out.
It's one of those. Oh my god, we got Django out of here.
Fucking Django. Dressed up like Prince and shit.
Imagine that. What if you walked into the woods and you saw Donald Trump holding up a baby?
I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't.
I would be so scared for the baby.
Yo, because you think to yourself, like, why is Donald Trump holding a baby?
In the woods.
Like,
in the
not just holding a baby in general. Like, you know
who the hell
what I'm saying?
gave
Like,
him that baby?
Like, who gave him that baby? You know what I'm saying? What you doing with a baby? You remember when Michael Jackson held his, what was it, blanket over the fucking balcony?
Ooh.
What the fuck was that about?
Who would you be? I'm Michael Jackson.
I'm Michael Jackson.
Who would you be disappointed in if they were in that secret society, in terms of celebrities?
What do you mean? Like
what if Will Ferrell was in the Illuminati?
I would be so fucking mad.
What if he was
I would be so fucking mad. I would like, Cause you know what Will Ferrell can do no wrong to me.
Really, dude? You made Step Brothers.
For real? Like, yo, you made Anchorman. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing here? Why do you know this information?
No.
The funny thing about it is that they used to say that Kanye West and Jay-Z and Beyonce and all of them were in the Illuminati, which I thought was ridiculous. For one, just for the listeners out there, they ain't letting no black folks in the Illuminati. Your ass ain't getting in. And even if you are Jay-Z and Beyonce, yeah, you might have the money, but you're not getting in. And they definitely not letting Kanye crazy ass in.
I feel like since stuff like that was said, Jay-Z's like been quiet. He's kind of been behind the scenes.
Scientology kind of seems like Illuminati type tier.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, fucking crazy.
It's like, why is
so weird.
you look at the people in that religion or whatever you want to call it, and why the fuck are so many of them crazy?
Yo, find that scene with Tom Cruise talking about Scientology, man. Matter of fact, find the one where he was jumping on Oprah's couch. I'd like to see that. Cause Tom Cruise is crazy. I don't give a fuck what y'all think about that.
That's just a fact.
Yeah, that's a fucking fact.
He was funny in Tropic Thunder though.
Which one?
Tropic Thunder.
That's weird. That's what I was thinking. Like,
That was a fluke, right?
That was weird.
That was a fluke, right?
Yeah.
Because I
Pretty
mean, you
much.
didn't expect that one to come out. You didn't expect him.
People still love the Mission Impossible movies. Yeah. People still like him as an actor. I like Top Gun.
Shit. No, okay, I'll fuck with you on the Mission Impossible movies. Tropic Thunder was a fluke.
He's in the building!
This nigga Tom Cruise, man. Just for the record, Tom Cruise is 4'8".
No.
First of all, thanks
3'2".
ball with Katie. Was that the best fun? Was that? Yes, yes. What has happened to you? That's how I feel about it.
Just for the listeners out there, this idiot's jumping on the couch right now.
Really? Something happened to you. Something happened to you. I'm in love. No, they're literally on the edge of their seats. They're like this. They're like this.
Katie Holmes was trapped in a cage somewhere.
No, I know what he's doing. He's
I'm in love.
processing.
I'm in love.
He's trying
She's
to
the perfect
figure out
girl
what
for
he
me.
is gonna tell, what he isn't gonna tell. I've never seen you like that.
What is he doing? What is that?
I know. We've never
He
seen
looks like
you
he's trying to
behave
power
this
up.
way before. I know. Have you ever felt this way before?
How weird is that? You see what I'm saying? Justice cracking up. I'm telling you, this shit is stupid.
That's like me on payday.
You are gone.
I'm not gonna pretend.
You know, Katie once told 17 magazine. Yes.
What is this guy doing?
The boy is gone.
Okay, stop that shit, please.
Tell me this guy was high or something.
Yo, he wasn't. No, he was high on Scientology. Whatever the fuck that is.
What if they cut him a check? Like they're
Yo.
paying him to act like this.
No, they not. Yo,
That looks like
do
a
me a
performance
favor.
to me,
Do me a
honestly.
favor. Look up on there what South Park thought Scientology was, cause y'all gonna love that shit. And are they paying him? No, fuck no. I think the niggas just okay. One thing that I think about celebrities is that if you've been in the game too long, you forget who the fuck you are. You know what I'm saying? Like
That makes sense.
You spend so much time playing these different roles, these different people. You know what I'm saying? That plus you're privileged. You know what I mean? So I think at
Yeah.
a certain point that people
Like
just
like you said with the you have to take on different roles. Like a lot of people take on they put themselves in a different mental space, and that they get used to that, and it fucks it's kind of like imposter syndrome. Like you don't know.
You forget who you are.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do you really enjoy the things you enjoy? Do you like the foods you like?
Yeah, I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that these motherfuckers start to forget who the fuck they are. And once you're used to being called Mr. Cruz or Mrs. Berry or Mrs. Knowles or Mrs. Carter, whatever the fuck.
Is it that bottom one?
Let me see.
Or up here?
I can't remember, y'all. I'm all up in the mic right now. We are.
Sound like some ODB shit.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna do the raw line.
Get out of that one.
In case you're not familiar, are the creators of South Park and the Book of Mormon. They're known for their equal opportunity, offensive comedy that cuts to the core of ideology.
I don't want to watch your list, SourceFed.
Yeah, I don't want to hear all that shit. We are an hour and 45 minutes in, and I don't know what we have covered tonight.
Lots of randomness.
A lot.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
If you're still listening, you're welcome.
If you're still listening.
Thanks for listening.
We are the Randumb Review Podcast.
Appreciate it, dog.
Glad to be out here.
Are we going to cut out or are we going to find one more video?
I'm trying to find this Scientology South Park one, but I can't find it.
It's the one where he was talking about, it was like the Lord Zorg or some shit that came down and left particles on the planet. And that's what changed us into humanoids. Yada yada yada. I don't know, man. I can't recite that shit. I swear.
Don't you pretty much have to be rich to join Scientology?
I believe so. Because the only people that are in it is what? John Travolta
and Tom Cruise.
And Tom Cruise.
Allison Mack.
Like that's no coincidence.
Allison Mack.
No, remember she was in
she was in a fucking cult. She was like with the leader and shit.
I feel like that's a whole different. We can start a whole conversation off of that one. Jesus Christ, who thought Allison Mack was gonna be? What we got here?
Hey everyone, Jared here. If there's one word we've come to associate with South Park.
What is that?
What is this? I thought this was the video.
That was the blessing. We got gospel at the end.
Does any of that look like Lord Zeno? Help me, Tom Cruise. Help me, Oprah Winfrey.
Come on, Tom Cruise.
You think Tom Cruise can tap into
that's like the credits. Let's go. There's a fucking devil in there.
Fuck's Carpenter.
They always got the devil in there, yo. Him and Saddam.
What the fuck were we just?
Him and Saddam have a love affair.
Who's that? R. Kelly. He's got nice horns. He gives great advice.
God. I almost want to pull up the R. Kelly one on South Park, just because it's funny like that.
They have one too?
They have the Trapped in the Closet one.
Let's see that.
Oh my God. And then I pull up my gun. That's what he says every 5 fucking minutes.
That's his search.
Yo. For the Randumb Review listeners out there, we are fucking lit.
As usual.
Man, this is some crazy shit. Why won't you both just come out the closet? And they said,
we're not coming out the closet. You can just go away.
but everyone wants you out the closet.
That doesn't matter because we're gonna stay.
Now I'm starting to get angry. So I pull out my gun. I'm gonna give you count to 3 to open this closet door. 1, I'm gonna shoot you both. 2, I'm gonna cap some bitch. 3.
R. Kelly's wild.
Now I'm in the closet. Now I'm in the closet too.
Oh my God. We're getting the fuck out of here, man. I'm shutting this down, yo.
That's it.
That's it, yo. There There we go.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Song used to scare me.
Yeah, this shit is freaky, right? Shout out to Dust for being on tonight. Shout out to Danger Hostile for being on tonight.
Yo.
I'm your host, Anomaly. This is the Random Review Podcast, and we're gonna let this ride out a little bit.